guess it's spider season. Makes sense. Alright, so I got the mower back out here today. For the project that I've been kind of putting off. It's a nice day out here today. So we gotta rewire it. This is the key right now. And the clutch is pressed in. And this is bypassed, safety on the seat. And my PTO switch is not engaged, so it should theoretically start, right? But no. So we have some electrical problems. From day one, this thing's always sort of had a little bit of an electrical problem. The headlights only work when they want to. What else? Yeah, it doesn't start with the key. Funny enough, actually, you could start it without the clutch engaged too, so I think that safety switch is bad. But most of the wiring is done in here. So, you can get a better look over here. You can see I added this ground wire over here because I was messing with the starter solenoid over here. This ground wire that's just connected to the body. Which it should be pretty easy because I'm only really dealing with positive connections. I don't know, I don't think you can see it in there, but the battery is just on the frame, so this whole frame is grounded by the battery, so that'll make things pretty easy. But yeah, really, all I need is like three basic things to run this thing. I need the kill wire, which is inside this engine cover, to not be grounded when the tractor is in run mode. I need this fuel solenoid over here. I need that to basically be functioning. Some carburetors have this. It basically just regulates the fuel flow in the bowl. Kind of stupid, but whatever. And I think, yeah, see, look at this right there. That's the ground wire for the solenoid. So I'm only dealing with the positive connection on the solenoid over here as well. That should be pretty easy. I'm not going to mess with those big chunky wires over there. That's for the starter. I just gotta reconfigure the solenoid, and then over here we have the wires for the lights. So, and I'm gonna wire the lights on a separate switch. I have this thing over here. I have this thing right here. We're basically just gonna be using this for controlling the mower. So, now right here I printed out, this is my wiring schematic for the lawnmower. I printed this out, it's just to help me kind of figure it out. And I'm sure some people don't quite understand how all this works, but electricity is basically right in my wheelhouse. I've been doing, electrical work since I was like a baby with, like little toys and stuff like that. So, I play with electricity over here all the time, So yeah, this should be a pretty easy job. I should be able to knock this out today. A lot of this stuff is all just safety. Any yellow or orange wires, those are all the safety switches. We're gonna bypass those. We just don't need them anymore. We're not like we're mowing the lawn or anything. We got to keep some of this wiring for the starter. This is basically your flywheel right here, because you see your coil over here, your ignition coil. I just had to replace that last week for the spark plug. For some reason the body of the ignition coil is grounded. I didn't really know that, but I guess it makes sense. And this over here is your kill wire. I don't know why it's marked in yellow, but if you trace it back down, it just goes to all the safety switches. So we're just going to manually shut off the mower with the kill switch on this thing. It's going to be this red one right here. I'm going to make the kill switch. The kill has to be going to ground. That's what kills the mower. And then this switch over here, I'll actually technically make the run switch. That's just going to turn on the fuel solenoid. Turn the fuel solenoid. That's really all it has to do, is just turn on the fuel solenoid. And then this thing flipped up has to turn off the kill wire. That should basically get it to run. And then this button over here is what's going to make the starter spin. So, and then another one of those switches, I'll just run the headlights on. So shouldn't be pretty bad. I mean, I do this all the time. So let's see if we can get to work. Alright, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to get rid of this. I'm not even sure what some of this is. I think some of this, one of these is for my fuel solenoid. Right here, yes. These wires coming out of here. I don't know if you can see those too good, but that is the alternator inside the flywheel. Yes, tractors have alternators. Some people don't know that for some reason. You'd be surprised. But yeah, so that's the alternator. That's very important. I need to make sure I wire that back up, because this way we'll be charging the battery. And then down under here where your feet go, you can see kind of in here, we got all these, just unplugged. Perfect. Yeah, this is all safety stuff. That goes to the back for the seat, and there's also a clutch. Yeah, something for the clutch on this side, believe it or not. I don't know why, but So yeah, I'm gonna knock all this out and I'll see you guys in a bit. First, let's get this top cover off though, because there's a lot of the wiring under there that I need to see. Freaking wrong drive. This should be it. Yep. Sweet. That's the one thing I hate about these lawnmowers is these bolts are constantly stripping. I think this one's alright though. Yeah. These come out like nothing. This middle bolt is the one that's frustrating though. I mean, the previous owner didn't even use the original bolt in there. I don't even know what that is. Alright, let's get to stripping out some of these wires. Take this guy off. So I always forget about the oil. That's fine. I lost so much of my oil last time taking this off anyways. Spun the engine over and shot out everywhere. Okay, so this is your key. And basically, yeah, so anything on here that's yellow, purple's the headlights, red is 12 volts, or orange. So it's really yellow and orange are going to be completely eliminated. These two black wires are ground wires. One of them's for the kill, and one of them's for the headlights. And these red things, one of them I know is for the headlights. And one of them's theoretically what's supposed to switch on and off the solenoid, but obviously that's not working. So, and then I think this red tab on this one right here, because this constantly has a 12 volt to it, going back right straight into the battery. I think that's where the alternator gets connected. So we're gonna figure that out though. Okay, right here, see this? All this right here? These are all yellows and oranges, which basically for short means safety switches. Now I think most of this is connected to this thing right here. That's your clutch button right there. That's obviously no longer connected anymore. Over here, this, I don't know what the black wire is for. It must be the ground for the headlights, because this white one is the live for the fuel solenoid back there. So, and then over here, I think I have my alternator disconnected right now. It said in the diagram that there's a white wire, which is an AC output, which makes sense because there's a diode somewhere in here that converts it to DC, but I don't know why they wouldn't just convert every wire over. So that's a bit strange, but we'll figure it out. These connections don't seem too bad. They seem to be pretty, maybe not. Maybe I might have to put a new connector on the end of these things. I don't know. I'll investigate that. Oh my god, that took forever. But we managed to take out one safety switch. And I believe, honestly, the seat safety switch, after doing all that, is disconnected. Because I know these, by original design, are supposed to be intertwined. So basically, this clutch one, if this is pushed in like this, it's supposed to override the seat switch, because if you have the parking brake on, you should be able to be allowed to get off the lawnmower while still having it running if this is in. But if this were ever to come out and you were off the seat, then the mower would quickly shut down. So obviously not anymore. I did clip this wire, which I'm not going to clip it any further because this wire is the fuel solenoid wire. So we got that. I confirmed that these are the alternator wires, and this is everything that's connected to the alternator, these three wires. One of them is a positive, and then there's a ground that comes off of here. And so we're gonna figure that out. But yeah, we've already simplified it down pretty good in here. So this is just all ground. So one of these grounds is for headlights, and I think the other one has to be for the headlights, or sorry, the kill wire, not the headlights. And if it's not, we're gonna make it that. Yeah, see this wire right here, this one that's hanging out going along that positive wire, this is part of the safety switch over here. So that should already be disconnected, but we're just gonna knock the wires out of there anyways, because I just don't want to get confused, because honestly, we probably get this thing rewired by later on today. Okay, so this is the lead that has a constant 12 volt. This wire that you see right here, literally is directly connected to the battery. And this little wire right here that I'm pulling off, this guy on this fuse, is the part where your alternator charges your battery. So this is important. I gotta set this aside. Yeah, we don't want to break any of these connections. I'm definitely gonna keep the fuse just for safety reasons. I don't really want to blow up my battery. I'm in a quarter mile down the road. You know, so yeah, whatever. Keep that. If it blows, it blows. I'll just override it. Then we got the ground over here, which goes up into here, which goes back. So we're gonna figure that out. This ground over here is just grounded through body, obviously, because that's how everything's grounded on here, like normal. So, but what we're gonna do really quick is I keep shorting this tractor out. So now I don't have any power around the front end anymore now that we did that. So let's keep it that way. You know what, actually, we're just gonna yeah, we'll pull that out of here. You know what, I might even cover that off with electrical tape temporarily. I keep shorting it on things. So this is kind of nice because this little ground tab over here that has the 2 wires, one of these things just goes to that screw down over there by the solenoid, and then the other one literally just goes directly to the headlights. So that's kind of nice. So this way right now, because I'm actually gonna start putting this thing together soon, this could just be my ground, you know what I mean? I don't really have to utilize this connection that I made over here. Not necessarily anyways. I might still be able to use it, but this will be good because I could just, the headlights are directly grounded. I could kind of just leave this thing alone. The only thing I'm really switching on and off is this for the positive. Then we also have another positive wire over here. It's this white and black looking thing that got spray paint on it. That's for the solenoid, the fuel solenoid. That is grounded by itself, so we don't have to worry about grounding it. I'm not 100%, oh, wait a second. This black wire is the kill wire. Perfect. We just figured that out live on camera, guys. I just saw it wiggling up top over here. Kill wire up top over here is in sort of crummy shape, but I think it works fine, you know. And there's a saying out there, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I'm just not gonna bother with it. If I have to fix it though, I'll know exactly what's wrong. You know, my tractor just magically doesn't turn off for some reason. So yeah, no big deal. So yeah, and then I got this red wire's alternator. I'm still trying to figure out though what this wire is. This is a random white wire that doesn't seem to really go to anything. So I'm gonna have to consult with my little wire diagram to see what that's all about and if it's necessary or not. I personally don't think so right now. The only thing is, yeah, see, I had this thing. This is all up because I keep shorting out the stupid tractor. There we go. Yeah. Oh, and another thing I gotta do too is this electrical tape I put on here. It's not the wire. This new wire isn't actually beat up. This is just melted. I could remove this right now, and the wire would look just like this over here. The thing is, the new coil wire that I threw on here isn't actually meant for this lawnmower. It works fine. It produces spark, but the wire is a little short. So I might see. I don't know if I can get like a zip tie or something like that to just stretch it out like this, because right here is your exhaust flange. And then you get your muffler over here, so it gets really freaking hot over here, and so that's why this thing is starting to melt on me when I run the thing. So we're gonna figure that out too. I got some zip ties we could probably work with. So, and if you're wondering, these are your little magnets on your flywheel right here, and they pass around over here. They move over here, creating a magnetic field, which creates a spark. It's very simple when you think about it. So, this wire I'm not moving at all. This is the starter wire right here, and I don't know if this boy is bad or not. This guy's been giving me some issues lately, but we're just gonna leave that right on the starting solenoid. Perfect. So let me get some of these wires organized here. This is the little key plug over here that went into here. So this is all garbage now. I was gonna pull the connectors out of here. I tried my best with like 30 different tools, and that didn't work too good, so I just clipped the connections and gave up. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely worry about the lights last though. We don't need to worry about the lights just yet, because the lights aren't vital to the lawnmower's operations. What's vital is this, whether this thing is grounded or not, whether the solenoid over there has power, whether this starter is able to get power through a push button, and that's basically it. And I gotta top off my oil because I lost a bunch of it. So all right, let's get back to work. Okay, so I got this out here finally. We're gonna start wiring this in a second. That's my diagram. But I already kind of found a small issue. Just got this unplugged. It's gonna be really hard to get it in there, but you can see it's on there, but it's really loose. It doesn't take much to get it off of there. You know, plus I could see there's a little bit of exposed wiring. It's the main reason why I'm doing this, because of the wiring exposed over here. You know, if anything over here is grounding out on this coil over here, it'll cause it, because all you have to do, because the whole lawnmower body is grounded. And so let's just say this wire is touching the end over here and making a connection to that coil. It's gonna kill the lawnmower. So what I might do is I might cut this back, and I'm just gonna throw a new connector on there. We'll see if we can get that in there. So let me go over to our connector box here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. We're gonna wanna put this type of a connector on here. I think it'll be a bit stronger too. So, have a look. So we can just, if we can get it in here just fine, then I'll install it. You see that goes on there, but that's really loose. That'll just jiggle out of there. Oh, yeah, see, just basically just did it. All right, well, we're gonna figure this out. You can clamp this down a little bit. So let's see what I can do. All right, that looks pretty good. So let's start dealing with some of this down here now. All right, so I just finished putting in the first set of wiring. So we have the positive coming off of my alternator over here, and this goes back onto one side of the switch over here, and that's gonna bring the power coming off the alternator up over here. And this wire over here, which goes up under here to this white thing with the shrink wrap, that goes to the fuel solenoid. And also, because this is the alternator, I have my little charging circuit. We're gonna knock that back onto the constant 12-volt knob on the solenoid over there, the starting solenoid. And so what we're going to do now is, because we're going to have a positive voltage on this lead at all times, what we're going to need to do is wire a little jumper lead from here to this little thing down here. And this tab right here is supposed to be connected to positive, and that's what turns the light on the switch. So just for this. Look at that. So much cleaner in here now. None of that stupid wiring everywhere in here now. Looks great. Of course, I'm gonna have to add all this back in here, but we're almost done wiring it. So, yeah. All right, so as you saw there, it was running just fine with this new setup. I haven't mounted it yet, so kind of figuring out where I want to mount it, but I left a ton of slack in the wires to mount it anywhere. Obviously it looks like a little bit of a rat's nest right now, but I'm going to clean it up. We'll use some zip ties and tape and stuff like that. So what I didn't know when I bought this switch though was that this is actually a normally open switch. So what happens is when you flip this switch up, it just connects the two leads back here together. So you can't actually use that as a kill switch, which really sucks. I was gonna use that as a kill switch. So instead now this is a kill switch and you have to flip it up. So like this being up right now, the lawnmower is killed. So it's okay. I can get normally closed switches if it really bothers me that much, and I can put it, I might even be able to put it in this little keyhole over here. And then just, you know, bypass this switch. But the cool thing is now is that this switch in the middle here is for your headlights. And normally you need the mower to be running for your headlights to turn on, but we could flip it on right now. You see, the headlights are on. Now I know that's terrible to do because, you know, battery and it draining and stuff like that, but, you know, it's my mower. I wired it the way I wired it. So just thought that was kind of cool, you know what I mean? It's sort of like a car, you know what I mean? Sometimes some cars you have to turn off the headlights manually. So I just thought that was pretty cool. The battery charges just fine. I got the charging circuitry going in there. You got fuel, spark, everything. So, but there's absolutely no safety features on here. So I don't need this little bypass anymore on the safety switch because it's not connected anymore. So that's kind of nice. You know, I don't need that no more. And then I got the keyhole right here. I'll figure out something to do with this. It's just sort of like a black eye in the lawnmower right now. Oh yeah, then here's the old key. Yep, that's the old ignition. So, yep, but yeah, it worked great. So, yeah, but that's basically how it works now. You flip this up like this, you know, and you flip this switch up, it turns on, you get it into run. This switch, you flip that up, it kills it, and this switch, your headlights, this switch just doesn't do anything. I don't have a purpose for it yet, so we'll figure it out. But, you know, after all this, I don't really have much to do. I have to swap the front pulley over here, down over here. I still have like the normal PTO pulley. It's a dual pulley setup. And I think up top over here is like a 4-inch pulley or 3.5-inch pulley going down to the 2 on the back over here. And so I'm gonna put as big as a pulley I can on here. If I could put like a 7-inch pulley up front there, I will. But I'm hopefully going for at least 6.5 on the front there, down to a 2, and that should give us the ratio for about 40 miles an hour. And then I also am going to install the gas pedal right around here. I actually have the gas pedal in the garage. Yeah, so it's going to be this thing right here. It's all like, you know, discombobulated right now. It's not connected. But this is basically going to be your foot throttle. I might weld something to the end of this thing so it kind of makes it look more like a gas pedal. And then this is the cable. It's just a normal bike brake. The wire goes in and out. So I'm going to connect that somewhere on my throttle. And I'm going to figure out how I want to do that. I might just bypass the governor or something like that to get more RPM, because this linkage right here is what directly controls your carburetor, but this linkage over here is what this thing controls, and that's all governed. So that's what limits the RPM on this thing. So I'll figure it out. I got a lot of cleaning to do, so, but it works, and it works great. So thanks to everybody for watching, and more updates are to come soon, definitely. It looks really cool. I honestly like the look of this thing. So, something about it is just funny. Alrighty, well, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Even though there was lack of content, you know, it was still pretty fun. Alright, see ya.